Well, hi there, everybody, and welcome to our next podcast. My name is Nettie Wilson, and I am from the Beautiful brand, and run the Eco Not Ego Biz podcast. And today I have the pleasure of talking to Mustafa from Pit to Table. And we met Mustafa, didn't we, on LinkedIn? Just happened to pick up on what you guys were doing and did a little post about you, and it pretty much went viral, I think, on LinkedIn. So I reached out to you and then said, well, let's have a chat. Let's just have a conversation and find out more about what you do, because I would love to hear more, Mustafa. So over to you. Please do tell us, and the listeners and everybody watching, what it is that you guys do.
Absolutely. Thank you. And lovely meeting you.
And you too.
Mustafa, everyone calls me Mus. I'm an interior designer by trade. I've been working in the London design scene for the past almost 18 years now, designing for workplaces like Google, Meta, a lot of like tech clients, financial clients, some legal clients, through to award-winning restaurants and bars, and even like hair salons in Chelsea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so my experience is based on the interiors field, really. And with my new company, Pit to Table, we are creating panels for the interiors and furniture market made from discarded olive pits in Cyprus.
That's so fascinating. And that's the thing that I really picked up on with what you guys are doing and what the company's doing. How fascinating to take something that people would normally kind of throw away and cast away and go, hey, let's make furniture with this. How did that come about?
So for me, it started pretty much from childhood. I grew up in Cyprus. Every harvest season, which is between sort of like October till January time, we would pick our olives, take it to the mills and get our own olive oil. And
Wow.
I remember seeing this sort of waste accumulating outside the olive mills, outside these factories, and the smell of actually that you couldn't stand anywhere near it because it
Wow.
just stunk. And like that was just a childhood memory. And then sort of like having my education in the UK and then working in the London design sector, especially with clients who are really pushing the sustainability narrative and trying to do better. I've come across and used many times products with a bit more story to them that are a bit more interesting to not only look at, but to listen to. So for example, recycled plastics.
Yeah.
Bar stools made from recycled CDs, from wood offcuts. And I always found this really fascinating. Since COVID, I've been spending a bit more time back home in Cyprus. And it really sort of dawned on me that, wait, we could do something from our waste in Cyprus for the global market. And there's demand for more materials.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge market out there for it. Designers are, including myself, are yearning for something more. So basically what happened really simply was that there was a United Nations Development Program, which was an accelerator program, sort of advertised on Instagram. So I was like, well, let's just join with my idea. And we joined. It was we got in. It was a 3-month intensive venture builder program, business case to financial projections, marketing, everything that you would cover in an MBA almost, but very accelerated. And then at the end of the 3 months, we pitched our idea with a little prototype and with our business plan, and we won that.
Fantastic.
That
Congratulations.
Thank you. And that was really the beginning of our journey in terms of like getting the product developed. So that was beginning of 2024. So we worked on it for a year and a half before we launched it to the market during Clark Design Week in May 2020.
Okay.
So just about 8 months ago. And our product is called Pitboard. It's made from 60% olive pits and 40% bioresin, which is made from cashew nut shells.
Because that's one of the things that people were asking.
Yeah.
What is it bound together with?
Right.
It's
actually quite important for us. We obviously did our initial mock-up with a regular epoxy system, and ever since then we had been doing intensive research all over the world to try and find the best bio-based resin. So
Wow.
we got
Well
samples from
done.
Switzerland, from the UK, from our region in the Mediterranean, and managed to find one in our region which is made from cashew nut shells with a 34% bio content. So that was the one that showed most success in our trials, in our
Yeah.
prototypes, and the cutting and CNCing. All of those that we worked closely with local carpenters seemed to be the most successful one. So that's where we are, and it's the first iteration of our pit board. We're working in the UK with Innovate UK now to do the second iteration, that is going to
Okay.
be even more bio-based than what we have now. So you can sort of think of it as iPhone version 1, and then it'll be iPhone version
Yes.
2
Yes.
shortly.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the product. It's available in 3 colors. Made from 60% olive pits and 40% bioresin. And it's available in panel form. Just some of the things that the designers love is the edge details. So regularly with other
Right.
conventional worktops, what you would do, especially like laminated MDF, you'd have to add another plastic PVC edge banding to the edges, etc. With
Right.
ours, you just cut it and then sand and oil it, and that's the finish. And actually, seeing the pits along the edges is what a lot of designers found fascinating.
So for all those creatives out there, they can really have a play with it and probably come up with some really interesting ideas with it as well. I'm sure, the blood, sweat and tears that have gone into this, Mustafa, or Muz, sorry.
Yeah,
The blood, sweat and tears that have gone into this, people don't see that, do they? They don't see the sleepless nights, and they don't see all of the everything that goes in behind the scenes to come up with something like this.
absolutely. And that was a year and a half of that, really, that we were just constantly. I mean, we failed so many times. At one point in the beginning, it looked like one of our prototypes looked like Cocoa Pops in blue milk. It was terrible. And, it's sometimes it's like, okay, well, we're trying to really like go the sustainable way, but like, are we actually going to be able to get a product
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
market? Like, that's important because it has to tick so many boxes. It has to be durable. It has to be moisture resistance. It has to be scratch proof. Like so many parameters to consider when you're
yeah.
releasing something to the market that could be used in interior environments, from like shelving to countertops to tables to chair legs. It has to sort of like consider a lot of the aspects of like daily use, wear
Yeah,
and
the
tear.
the use that people are gonna put it to. So if they were going to, have it for a kitchen countertop, the sort of wear and tear and the heat that potentially could go on there. Chair legs, the weight that it would have to endure, and tables and things like that. So there are many factors, aren't there, when you're creating interior pieces like that? There's so many factors to consider, aren't there?
Absolutely. And to us, like, with my co-founders, we all come from different backgrounds, but none of us are materials engineers. So we
Yeah.
sort of commissioned a Cypriot materials engineering firm to help us with this process. Then we had to take the material to a lab in Spain to get it tested for mechanical
Wow.
properties, for moisture resistance, and thankfully it all passed with flying colors, and it can be used in
Fantastic.
all of these environments. And one good thing that designers are loving when sharing with their clients is that you can sort of like, if there's like a really deep scratch, you can sand it and oil it again, and then the product itself is quite regenerative, so you can just keep working on it. If it stains, which it regularly doesn't, if you pour coffee or wine over it, it just stays on the surface, which is amazing.
So you've discovered some unique properties whilst experimenting and using it yourselves. There's some of the things that you've gone, wow, isn't this amazing? And
I
you
mean,
probably
to be
never knew
honest,
that to begin with, maybe.
absolutely. We didn't know how well it was going to perform against moisture resistance, and it's
Hmm.
actually incredible. And one of the things we didn't anticipate was this edge detail. when
Yeah.
we cut through it, and then it just almost looks a bit like terrazzo, but you can relate the material to its source. You see the pits, and we didn't sort of anticipate that being our biggest selling point, really. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been
Amazing.
super.
You're talking about I'm really intrigued here. I mean, where my mind's going as a creative myself is thinking about, well, you're saying it's moisture resistant and it's got a lot of strength to it. Is it something that people could use for building yachts and, the sort of marine aspect of it? Have you got interest in that kind of arena of business people, in that world? Are they kind of going, "Ooh, this is looking interesting?"
That's really interesting you say that, because my co-founder Yamur, she worked in the marine sector for years,
Right.
from like business perspective, and that is gonna be our sort of like next phase, going into that sector, because exactly because of its moisture resistance, and it sort of combines that sector with interiors, doesn't it, in a way? So.
Yeah, doesn't
Um,
it just?
it's definitely, it's actually on our to-do list for, after 2026, because we're working on this second iteration of the product. We wanna sort
Yeah.
of like get that overway, but, we have it on our rate to be working on it, so spilling the
Fa
secrets already.
Fantastic. It's just a natural progression for something that you've discovered. I think it's absolutely incredible, and I certainly it was something very interesting that piqued my interest when I started to look into what you guys were doing. I'm like, "I'm gonna do a post on these guys. This is so interesting." And coming out of Cyprus as well, what a beautiful place.
Absolutely. Uh, it's home for all of the co-founders, even though we all lived in the UK, and the US, over the years. Sort of going back, this idea of like going back to your home and creating something from it, especially for me, because it's within my sector, and having it like make an impact on a global scale has been amazing. We Ever since
Yeah.
we launched, we got published by a few magazines and few, influencers in the sustainable design field, and companies actually, which meant that people from Sydney, people from Netherlands, Singapore are reaching to us, which is unbelievable. Our target market was the UK market, and now we're sort of like dealing
Right.
with, like over 25 countries, which is incredible. And
That's amazing.
it's so good. Actually, like every now and then we sort of sit back and think, wow, okay, we're doing something right. But
Yes, you are.
the thing that resonates most, I think, with the designers is the story of the product. So
Mhm.
how we help farmers from both sides of a divided island. We support equally Turkish Cypriot and Greek Cypriot farmers. We buy the waste from them, as opposed to,
Yeah.
we could have got it for free because they need to actually shift it. We made a point to buy it, so it generates a bit of an income for them. It's small, but it's something at least. Um, the fact that we're obviously, like not cutting down trees. Every year, about like a few billion trees are cut down to make wood-based products for the construction, interiors, and
Yeah.
furniture sector.
Yeah.
So like,
Scary.
there's
It's
none of
scary.
there's none of that, and we're using waste. Cyprus produces around 24,000 tons of olive waste every year from olive oil production, because,
You've got the perfect climate for growing them,
right?
haven't you?
And olives are like, just is such a, I don't know. As soon as you speak to a Mediterranean person, they relate to it.
Mhm.
They just, quite a lot of
Yeah.
people from Spain, Italy, Greece, they'll come to, like, we'll speak to them and they're like, "Oh yeah, my family has groves, or my family has an olive tree." It's just such a thing, and for us Cypriots, is quite a symbolic. It's a symbol of peace. It's a we And we've used for generations actually dried olive branches. We burn them for like good luck, or sort of like warding off evil. So there's like a lot of symbolism around it as
I
well, and
love
just
it.
so meaningful. So
And
to
it's
be
such a
able to
beautiful
use it
fruit,
in
isn't
such
it?
a modern way is,
Yeah.
has been
Yeah.
incredible.
It is. It's such an ancient tree, isn't it? I mean, they've been around for millennia. So to take something that is got such a history and so ancient and bring it up to date with something that is, beautiful, sustainable, and helping farmers, I think that's absolutely amazing. I really do. And to kind of almost created something because it's a passion of yours, and then find it's a passion for others as well. And that's what you're attracting by the sounds of it.
I mean, we didn't expect, I mean, London sector, hungry people, designers and clients are really hungry for new materials. Designers always respect where materials come from as well. And sort of like there's this like organic way of living, like, you know yourself, you know, like I want to know the source of my food, but not only my food, where my furniture comes from. There's this like awareness. And I knew the London market would pick up because in the beginning, before we even developed the product, we went to 10 top design firms in London and did extensive interviews on sort of material specification and what are the sustainable requirements and just general requirements when it comes to specifying. So we sort of dug deep into all of these, and that's what really helped us define the product, what it was going to
Hmm.
be and what it was going to do and how it was going to be launched in the first stage. But I didn't expect it to be a hit in Helsinki, for example, that we've just signed with a distributor like a few weeks ago, or people reaching out to us from like LA is absolutely mind-blowing. But it also means, okay, like we're not doing too badly. We can just keep evolving and making it better. That's why
Yeah,
we're going
yeah.
for funds that will allow us to develop the product even further, make it even more sustainable. At the minute, we can recycle it mechanically, but it's not biodegradable. We're
Yes.
working on the version where it can be biodegradable at the end of its life as well, which would just make it so much more special because it's coming from earth back to earth.
It's going full circle, isn't it? And that then really is a circular economy, isn't it? It's cradle to grave.
Absolutely. And we just, like at the minute, for example, where we would like create circular shapes, we don't throw away any of the cutouts. We make samples from them and send them over to clients. We worked with a college in Cyprus, art college in Cyprus, and we've given them offcuts and they've cut them into like smaller shapes, sanded and oiled them, and then created keyrings out of it. So there's actually, like, when you think about it, you don't even need to like use machine power to mechanically recycle it. You can like be sort of like creative in different ways. Some artists have asked for
Yeah.
offcuts to do pieces from it. So this sort of thing excites us because it means, well, they came to us saying, we normally work with wood, but we would absolutely love to try your product because it's something so interesting and from our island.
Yeah.
And I
I'd
just
be
think
interested to talk to you as well, was about it for our
we'll pick
store.
that up after.
We'll do that after, absolutely. I can see the cogs are whirring in my brain about all the different things I could talk to you about. I don't think you're going to have any problem selling it all over the world. I think what you've created is something very special, very
Thank
special.
you.
And the story behind it, like you said, having a story behind everything is just something just so unique and so special. It's your story, it's your product, it's the story that you're taking out there to tell people, and it's a wonderful one. And the fact that you're giving back to the farmers who you're gathering the husks from, I just think the whole thing is incredible. So well done, you guys. I think what you're doing is absolutely incredible. I really do.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. I mean, you know, it's a roller coaster being a
Isn't
startup
it?
in a world which is full of uncertainty right now. Is actually
Of
quite crazy. But we try to, you know, like focus on the positives and how we can make it a little bit better through design, which is what we know. Initially, we set out to sort of be B2B, like business to business. Hence, our target market was designers, architects, top of the chain, so that we could
Yeah,
influence a lot more in sort of like bigger volumes. But we've had loads of requests from consumers as to
yeah,
buying our product because we got published in a few places over Instagram, and it just kind of blew up over the last, I'd say, like 4 months from like more from end user perspective. So we did this thing because we normally just make the panels and sell the panels. We had this idea where we could do an IKEA hack. And there's this metal tray table that pretty much every household has. So we cut out like one of our panels in a circular
Okay.
form and
Yep.
just said, look, you can replace the metal tray with our pit board and bring sort of craftsmanship and elegance to your home. And this is how you could own a piece of pit board for people who were getting in touch with us. And it's gone crazy. We've been
Fantastic.
selling all over the world to homeowners, to restaurants, because a lot of restaurants actually use them as side tables as well, like next to their dining tables.
Right.
So it's been great. So what this meant is that we're now working on a furniture range, small furniture range, sort of like collection of dining tables, coffee tables that we can sort of like have it more of a retail element as well,
Mhm.
so that
Mhm.
can own it in their homes. So we're working on
Yeah.
that small range at the minute, due to be launched in a few weeks.
Well, you'll have to keep us up to speed with all of that and keep in touch because we'd love to help you shout out about all of that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, fantastic. Mose, it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you and hearing your story and all the news about your wonderful product. And I will keep an eye on your journey and maybe we can catch up in a few months' time and find out where you are because this is one story I think that's just going to keep going.
Thank you so much. It was lovely chatting. And yeah, let's stay in touch. Absolutely.
Yes, please do, Muz. And thank you to everybody for listening in. And please do reach out. Muz, have you got a website that people can check out or socials that people can find you on?
Absolutely. On Instagram, we are pit2, number 2, table. And our website is pit-2.
Well, lovely speaking to you. And I'm Nettie Wilson from Eco Not Ego Biz. You can also find us on LinkedIn. And please do reach out to us if you want to find out more. Thanks so much for today, Muz. Talk to you again.